Bota, LP.
What's LP?
Huh? LP you don't know?
No.
Testicles.
Hi, my name is Jerry from Ang Mo Liang Teh, and welcome to another episode of Drink Beer Talk Cock. Joining us today is Corrine from the Drinking Partners. Hi, Corrine.
Hello, hi. Hi guys.
So today we'll be talking about starting a business during a pandemic. Right? I think this is something that is quite close to me at least, because right now I've just started Ang Mo Liang Teh about 3 months back. Back then, we was looking towards recovery. Singapore was having about, like, say, 1 cases or 0 cases for quite a few weeks already, and that was the moment where I kind of started. But little did I know, about 2 weeks in, we were hit with the heightened alert. And not only that, just a few weeks later, and then it came to the KTV cluster. So I was hit with 2 heightened alerts. It's very unfortunate, and I think it's a good learning experience as well. So Corrine, I understand that you started the Drinking Partners somewhere about 14 years back during the global financial crisis, right?
Yeah, that long ago, yes.
Unfortunate, I would say. I mean, when you start businesses, you always expect business to be smooth sailing, and then but you never know shit like that will always happen. So Corrine, I would just like to get your experience on how do you went through the whole global financial crisis, and maybe you can share some insights with me as a young startup.
Okay.
Right?
We started a business 14-15 years ago, 2007, out of passion. We moonlighted actually. We did that for a couple of years. So we had our full-time jobs, and then selling beers was something that we did at night. So we didn't track sales either. We didn't feel the brunt of the global financial crisis, to be honest.
So the Drinking Partners has been around for about 14-15 years already. And they are very popular for the range of beers that they carry, especially the Belgian range. So we'll be trying some of the Belgian craft beers that the Drinking Partners and Corrine will have brought us. So without further ado, let's try the first one. Okay, so Corrine, what will be the first beer that we'll be trying for today?
Very special beer. It is brewed in a monastery. It's a Trappist beer. The first one that we're going to be tasting would be Rochefort 6. And this style of beer is actually what we call a Trappist double. Belgian beers, especially the Rochefort, the Westmalle range, tend to be malty, tend to be sweeter. So the bitterness was actually very low. And cracking it open, letting people try, they took to it very quickly because it was sweet.
So all this talking makes me rather thirsty already. So yeah, let's do it.
So a bit more copper reddish, right? Rochefort 6, you actually get some very slight notes of grapes, red grapes, dried grapes. But on the profile, on the taste, on the palate side, is actually very dry.
That's what I got. Slightly drier towards the end.
Correct, and the bitterness is actually very low as well.
I think I get that quite often also. Like, a lot of people come into the shop and then they always tell me that, I don't want something so bitter. Looking at the range of products that I have, right, I carry a lot of IPAs, double IPAs, and I find it a bit of a challenge to find something that is not so bitter for them. In my opinion, beers definitely have to have some form of bitterness, right, because of the use of hops. But when we talk about the Belgian, especially the Rochefort 6, I think you don't really get the end bitterness, and I think it's a very good entry or gateway kind of a drink for people who love or want to try beers, but they don't really like the bitterness.
The bitterness of it, How about you? What is it like for you? Starting AMLT right in the middle of a pandemic, COVID.
I think I must be insane to have done that. But actually, you know what? Corrine actually played a very special role in the opening of AMLT.
Oh, did I?
Not really in the sense of opening, but she was the first person that I met that we tasted craft beers together. Before I started AMLT, I was in employment, I was in a corporate job, and I was also in the midst of trying out different craft beers because of the whole circuit breaker, and I had so much time. So I began exploring with craft beers after having a few online sessions with my friend, the virtual drinking sessions as we call it. So back to the topic on starting AMLT during the pandemic. Especially the height of the pandemic, I think I somehow got really sick and tired of my corporate job. and I decided it was about time I left. And it was just so nice that I have this newfound passion of craft beers. My self-discovery on craft beers and also meeting people like Corrine, tasting craft beers. And it was an eye-opener for me because I didn't know craft beers could be so expressive and full of flavors.
Yeah. Was that the reason why you decided to set up shop in the heartlands right here in Bukit Merah?
Okay, so when I was starting, I had this dilemma that should I have a physical space or should I just do online? I initially wanted to do an e-commerce platform. But the thing is, you still need to have a space, right, for your storage of your beers. So I thought if I need to have a space for storage, might as well I turn it into a bottle shop.
Valid
so
point there.
I can have the beers at storage and also to sell them.
Yes.
And the most important thing is, when I first got into craft beers, it was not about the packaging or the pictures that I see online that attracts me. It's always about the taste. To know craft beers, you have to taste craft beers.
You cannot just read off the website and say, oh yeah, this is the ratings, the reviews. It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
You really have to taste them to be able to fully appreciate craft beers. And that was really the motivation and the thought process behind creating AMLT as a bottle shop.
Yeah.
And that's something that I wish to do with AMLT also, is to create like a space where people can come and enjoy craft beers. And that was the reason why I also wanted to have it within the heartlands, because I want it to be, very down to earth. So I don't want it to seem like, to enjoy something like craft beers, you have to go into the CBD or all the atas places. But you can also have it within the heartlands.
Yes, very accessible, right?
Yeah.
What's your journey been like? You said you opened 3 months ago. You went through 2 lockdowns. You're still standing obviously today, and in fact I think you've expanded your range. What has kept you going?
I think a lot has to do with your initial motivation as well as the passion. Passion is what will keep you going, because if you do not have that passion and that drive, right, you will just burn out very fast, especially when you hit obstacles like this where you are facing a pandemic or facing restrictions here and there, ever-changing restrictions. So I think the thing you have, or rather I focus a lot, is the mentality as well as the morale. Because the first thing that hits you hard, right, is the morale. You will just lose all motivation where you don't see people stepping into store. When I first started, I really wouldn't care about things like rent or expenses, because these are all natural stuff. These are all part and parcel of running a business. And if there's people coming in to purchase and you get to sell them the beers, right, actually all these are negligible. All these expenses are negligible. So when the restrictions hit, all the work from home, no longer people come out and walk or dine, I see an instant drop in customers. It was per day, maybe about 1 or 2 people just walk in only.
Tell us a little bit more. The nearest place to you right now is IKEA. Everyone's familiar with IKEA, right?
Yeah.
How many minutes walk from IKEA are you? 5 minutes, 2 minutes?
Less than 5 minutes.
Less than 5 minutes walk,
I think
right?
it's about a 3-minute walk.
Yeah, and you're very close to Alexandra Village, Food Village Market, right?
Food Village,
very famous for, I think, the Hokkien Mee?
Hokkien Mee, beef hor fun, there's a
and a very good claypot laksa as well,
correct,
right?
the claypot laksa.
And King and Key is somewhere just 1 minute walk from you, right? Okay.
And there's a 大中国 bakery also.
And then Asing Durian is nearby.
Correct.
Yeah.
Asing Durian is just behind me. So after all this talking about me, right, I think it's about time we have another beer.
Of course.
So,
ready.
Yeah, what's the next one we're gonna have?
We're gonna have a non-Trappist beer, but also a Belgian icon as well. The style of the beer is what we call a golden triple, and the brewery is Uyghur. They make this very famous beer that is called the Delirium Tremens. Why you have the insignia, the pink elephant, is because it's been proven that when you have all these withdrawal symptoms, one of the things that you actually see you hallucinate about is actually pink elephants. Okay, cheers. So this is Delirium Tremens. It's a golden triple, 8.5% alcohol. So take it slow.
Okay.
Take it slow.
Definitely don't look like it, because it looks very crisp and very light.
It looks like a lager, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like a lager.
Yeah. This beer actually won, I think 10 years ago, World's Best Beer Award. Yeah.
Wow.
I think that's probably the reason why they also shot to fame as well.
So as business owners of craft beers, right, I think drinking is like a daily activity.
No, don't say that.
At least
My
for
mom
me,
is not watching this, okay?
at least for me, I think I'm drinking almost every
Yeah.
other day.
Yeah.
So I'll probably be looking for the pink ribbon quite soon.
But that is also, I think, a misconception that beer sellers are heavy drinkers.
Oh, definitely not.
So just to debunk, if you're thinking that we drink every day and we drink shitloads, we don't.
Okay, so now that we left the beer to warm up a little bit more, right, we should be expecting more flavors to come through.
Definitely, yeah.
Still get notes of fruitiness. Yeah, honey as well.
I'm picking up a lot of spiciness as well, like clove. If you think beer should be golden, this is your classic golden beer. This is as golden as you can get.
Yeah.
The beauty about Belgian beers is you don't need to have it extremely cold. The aromatics of the beer is just so complex that you don't want to have it too cold.
I think this is also one of the misconceptions that a lot of people have, right? Like beers must be drank like
Ice cold, right? Yeah. I can understand that in the Singapore context because it's tropical weather, it's extremely hot, right? Yeah.
It's a very good beer.
I'm glad you enjoyed this.
It's perfect.
This beer, we've actually done so many food pairings with it at restaurants. Works with pizzas, works with otah, works with ikan bakar. It's probably one of the most versatile beer I've encountered.
So we will do an episode on food pairing in time to come. Yeah, we will get different styles of beer, maybe some Belgian beers, IPAs, West Coast IPAs, and then we pair them with different food. And then we will see how it turns out.
That is so enjoyable.
Yeah.
You're not the only bottle shop in Singapore, right?
Definitely.
There are a couple of bottle shops. How do you stand out from the crowd?
So I think firstly would be I choose to open it within the heartlands.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I want to connect with residents within the area. Also to send a signal that craft beers don't have to necessarily be something very atas, something very out of reach.
Yep.
And with that in mind, right, prices that I offer, it's also has to be very affordable.
Yeah.
So affordability is something that I also emphasize and value, because given this kind of setting, right, if you you have your heartland, you have your very cozy and style and whatever, but then you're going to price at $20, $30, $40 for a craft beer, no one in the right mind will buy.
How can someone buy from you now? Like they have to they have to come all the way to Redhill and just think 2 minutes walk from IKEA, right?
Yes, it's about 2 minutes walk from IKEA Alexandra.
Yeah. So if I'm staying far away and I want to buy from you, how do I?
So you can always order online at amlt.sg. Okay. So you'll find that within my website, right, in all the listings of the alcohol and all the beers, right, I'll actually have a recommended temperature as well as a food pairing together with my listing.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a value added thing that I offer.
Wow. You've tasted all the food with
more or less I have. It may not be all, but I try to get something that I have perhaps tried before, and I think that it would pair well with the beers.
Yeah.
Actually, we're very fortunate to be in Singapore. We have a very diverse range of food and culture.
Yeah.
And you can pair with almost any beers that we have.
So we've just had Delirium Tremens. What dish would you pick up from Alexandra Food Village Market?
What I get from this beer, right, towards the end, there's a bit of a slight dryness.
Okay.
I think what will go quite well with this is something fatty and oily. Something like either Ola or Char Kway Teow.
I was thinking about that. Oh, yeah, high five!
I was thinking Char Kway Teow.
I was thinking a lot. There's a lot.
But they're the same. So the Chai Tao Kueh, Ola and the Char Kway Teow,
Exactly,
they're usually the same store.
Okay.
So if you happen to be there and you're buying like a Ola or a Char Kway Teow, right? Please swing by and just ask me for recommendation for a beer to pair with it. Okay, so we've done the Delirium Tremens, and we will now go into the Trappist beers that Corrine has previously mentioned.
Yeah, we're going back into a very special Trappist brewery called Westmalle. So old that they actually invented the beer style triple and double, designed by the Trappist monks at Westmalle. Shall we crack this open?
Yeah, let's do it.
This is a golden triple as well, okay? Westmalle triple is also known as the mother of all triples. So in beers we have 4 ingredients, right? You've got malt, you've got hops, you've got water, and then you've got yeast. When you talk about yeast, it is what the Belgian beers do well, the best. And so you can actually pick up that very distinctive characteristics just by smelling it. So you look at the foam, it's extremely thick. It's because the beer is actually bottle conditioned.
Anyway, this is Westmalle.
Westmalle
It's not Westmore. Not the one in Bukit.
Okay,
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
The 9.4 will be quite apparent. But yeah, you get very flavorful notes on the nose.
And with that, I'm just gonna finish this.
Oh.
Superstar.
Why is it called Superstar?
Because it's a Bota, LP.
What's LP?
Huh? LP, you don't know?
No.
Testicles.
Okay. Wow, okay, I learned something new today. 15 years, I've never heard that.
So Corrine, what beer are we going to try next?
Ooh, this is going to be a big gun. It's very classic Belgian style called the Quadruple. So
Quads.
we had double, we had triple,
Triples.
and now it's a quadruple. So
Let's do it.
let's pull out the last one, the quadruple. It's from Chimay. Let's crack it open.
Let's go. Very rich caramel notes right off the nose.
A lot rounder, I find.
Yeah, a bit of spice. Taste a bit of spice. Complex.
The beer will, as it warms up, it's going to get a lot more intense. So what is it like for you? You've gone through 2 lockdowns.
Yeah.
What kept you going?
I think as we live in uncertain times, right, the thing that you can really fall back on is family.
Okay.
I think family is very important. First of all, they have to be very supportive. I'm very thankful to have a very supportive wife. In that sense, yeah.
Okay.
So starting a business is never easy.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of sacrifices to make. I think the very first one is being away from my kid. I just had a newborn, say about 10 months ago. It's always painful to leave sight of him the moment I go for work. Yeah, and I think that's one of the sacrifices that we business owners have to make, right? Leaving your kid and your family at home. Yeah, but I'm very thankful for my wife being supportive of my venture and also for looking after the home.
I totally empathize with you. So you have a 10-month-old child, right?
Yeah.
I have a 14-year-old boy, a teenager now, and I actually recall as he was growing up, I took him out for my overseas trips as well because I had to visit a lot of breweries on a yearly basis. And so I took him along with me instead. Yeah, so I could spend time with him. I could also continue running my business.
That's nice.
When it comes to craft beer, it comes to any form of alcohol, it's about appreciating it.
Correct.
So hopefully, in a few years' time, when he starts going out clubbing, he doesn't drink in copious amounts, right? Yeah, he doesn't try to be a superstar, you know, because
don't be a superstar. Once you bring up your kid in the right approach, in the right environment, you shouldn't have to worry about them being an alcoholic or whatever. The only difference is my kid will not grow up in an environment where they can freely travel. I don't know, for the foreseeable future with all these restrictions.
Not for the next 12 months, I guess. You can bring in the local breweries though, right?
Yeah, probably local breweries, yeah. So if you're a local brewer, please hit me up. I'll bring my kid to appreciate your beers.
After the quadruple, I think we are done for the
I
day.
think we are more or less there already. I also superstar a few times already.
Yeah. What's up for you? What are your plans for AMLT after this?
So far, I'm very happy running the operations. Just being here every day, meeting new people, introducing them to craft beers, be it new craft beer converts or people who have already been experiencing craft beers.
Oh, do you know that the Belgian beer culture is actually UNESCO cultural heritage? Beer drinking is actually a cultural
heritage.
How good is that, right?
Let's hope one day Singapore gets that as well.
Okay.
Since we've got so many uncles in the coffee shop also, right? And with that, we've come to the end of today's episode on Belgian craft beers, as well as a bit of talk on starting a business during a pandemic, right? So these are the beers that we have tasted today, these Belgian craft beers. Let us know in the comment section down below if you are willing to try any of these craft beers, or have you ever tried them. Let us know what your take on these beers are. So the best 5 comments will win this beautiful set of glasses here.
So the ones that we've tasted today would be the first one, Rochefort 6. Second one we had was is a golden triple. It's called Delirium Tremens. The third one is a golden triple as well. And the last one is Chimay Blue, which is a quadruple. So tell us which one you like the most, which one you want to try the most. Comment below, and
We'll see you again. Bye bye.
bye!